Hello my angels and devils and all who may wonder here. I do not know why my zoom is not automatically zooming in at the moment, but today we are going to make, I'm so excited, it's a Beauty and the Beast craft. I have been wanting to do this on my channel, just weather and insomnia and a whole lot of other things have made it a little harder, but finally we are doing, and I still forgot the crystal beads, we are doing Belle's Beauty and the Beast's Enchanted Rose. Now this is a little flower pot I quilled. You can see how tiny that is. It has Sparkle Arkle from a Wink of Stella. So we have a clear Wink of Stella. We have 5 or 6 millimeter quilling strips. I found that trying to do this in 3 millimeters was just impossible. Wire cutters, green wire, which I'm lucky to have. This is 22 gauge, I think. 24 gauge, and it's powder coated. I was lucky to pick up quite a few rolls of that at Spotlight for 50 cents at one point, so I'm happy to have that. A quilling tool, and this is a small Empress one. I find this easier to work with for the roses. You will need glossy accents or some other glue. I find glossy accents the easiest. It does take a little while to dry, and it's about sort of giving you the stem of your rose. Some domes. Now these are pendant domes I got from AliExpress. I will be putting some Enchanted Roses in my Etsy store. I'm very excited. Once the current sale ends, they will be in my store. I'm also thinking of picking a random person to win one. This is the first one. This is the one on my Instagram. I don't know. Now this got a little too much Wink of Stella, but that said, I kind of don't mind it having a lot of sparkle because it's meant to be enchanted. Now the one thing I did forget to bring here to do this with is the 2 little beads I put on top. These are just Swarovski or Swarovski equivalent from eBay, and I've just stacked one smaller one on top of a bigger one just to give you that look. Now that's home decor. That would be great for a dollhouse, great for some sort of home decor. These are Tim Holtz corked vials. Here's another little one. This hasn't been enchanted as such. Some people like them plain, some people like them with the Wink of Stella. So here we go. I am very nervous about this, and I am going to make sure to put a link to where I learnt to do the quilled roses from, to the tutorial I learnt from, because honestly, this is a little complex, and this is why I've set my table up this way, is because even though you can see a bit of me in the background, I really wanted to be able to focus on the rose as such. So, the other thing is you'll need Tim Holtz corked domes. Tim Holtz does sell some of these in little packs of 2. I found them cheaper on AliExpress, but it is up to you. Like, it really depends on what you want. I have seen these on eBay, on Etsy, with just a mulberry paper rose in them, and they're quite expensive for what they are. So I'm hoping that if I put about $15 on these, people will understand that it's a hand quilled rose and a lot of work has gone into it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your quilling strip, you're going to fold an angle, then you're going to put it in. Let's see if this one's open enough to do it. Yep. Then you're going to roll it. Well, yeah, it helps if I don't slip it out. See, I am a little nervous about this because this is not something I have done a tutorial for before, and I have been practicing. That's why there are so many roses. Okay, so once you hit towards where your initial fold is, you're going to fold it in towards you. Now, you can fold it outwards as well. It just depends on what you're looking for. Now, you want to keep this nice and tight, and then you just want to fold and turn. Now, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect to start with, because you can actually play with the rose once it's out, and then you just fold. See, like at the moment it doesn't look like much, but you're going to do it all the way to the end of your strip. So I'm not going to pause this because I want you to see it in real time, just because I know for me. So I'm hoping you can see as I fold. Now, here's the thing. If you want a bigger rose, you pull, this is what I have learned. If you want a bigger rose, you pull your fold downwards sharper. If you want a thinner rose, you do it at more of an angle. Now, I'm not sure that that's technically what people would tell you to do. This is just something I have found for me. However, my giant, well, yeah, that's a hazard that I hit too, is that sometimes you accidentally pull it off the quilling tool. So this is going to make it harder for you to see me do the folds. So we're just folding, rolling. As I said, I will put a tutorial in, because like a link to somebody else's tutorial, because honestly they have a much better sort of image of doing this as such than I do. I would hate for you to think that my way is the only way, and that because you can't necessarily see the folds as well as you should, because for some reason my camera is not zooming the way it normally would. Now, this at the moment is looking very triangle. Do not stress that. Do not stress that it's not looking like a rose, because you can actually adjust that towards the end. Once you've done it, you can actually play with the rose and make it more rose-shaped, I guess is the way I'd say it. So we're just continuing to fold and fold. I'm so excited by this project. I'm so excited for the live action Beauty and the Beast. Not just because I absolutely adore Emma Watson. She is an amazing human being. And of course, we all love Hermione. Our favourite know-it-all. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you know that. But also just because I love the Beauty and the Beast story is such a beautiful story. It's hard to know whether live action is going to do it justice, because the cartoon movie, the animation is just gorgeous, and the songs, and it's really hard to think that Angela Lansbury won't be singing Tale as Old as Time. That feels so odd to me. I love Emma Thompson. I think she's fantastic, but she just doesn't feel like Mrs. Potts to me. I'm sorry. She might prove me wrong. She is such an amazing actress. It would not surprise me if she proved me wrong at all. At all surprise me if she does prove everybody wrong. But I am really looking forward to seeing it. I recently just got to see Moana and Rogue One and was really blown away. I don't know why, whether I was in a mood when I saw Rogue One or not, but I feel like Rogue One didn't quite have the heart I expected it to. It didn't live up to the hype for me as much as Moana did. I mean, Moana made me cry. I was a blubbering mess within the opening sequences of Moana. I'm not gonna lie. I could try, but you know what? Anyone who reads my Twitter knows how I felt when I was watching Moana. It was just so visually stunning and such a beautiful story. And I think they really did the Polynesian culture mostly proud. I would have liked a bit more music with Polynesian sort of themes in it, but you know, that's neither here nor there. So here's your rose. Let's see, where do I hold it so that you can see it? Now what I'm going to do is just play with it a little to get it more rosy-like. There we go. Okay, so now that I've got it a bit more rose-like, I'm going to hold it with my fingers for a minute while I undo my glue. And then what we're going to do is you're going to do the scary thing of letting it go. Now, you're just going to pop a little bit of glue in some of your layers. You don't need it all the way up, but I do tend to do it in a few places. And just make sure... Okay, I didn't mean to get glue. There was a little bit much glue coming out of that. Now, what you do is you hold it in place for a minute. So, you've got your baby rose. Now, what we're going to do is just make sure I do the glossy thing to make sure it's not sticky. We're going to grab a piece of wire. Now, I will probably just demonstrate on one of the roses I've already made, because it is quite a length, you've got to give it a good 10 or 20 minutes to dry. So what you're going to do is you're going to dip your wire into your glossy accents and just make sure you've got some glossy on it, and make sure you do your thing where your glossy's not going to come out the top again. And then we go in here and you just want to try and find your little hole bit. Now I've accidentally covered that up, but I've got a pin here, so I'm just going to take the pin and just create a little hole. Make sure I can see where it goes. And the reason you're doing this is because I tried doing this on the wire. I really did. I tried so hard, and you know what I found? I found that when I tried to do it on the wire, it was harder to quill for me. You can, if you want to, just roll it onto your wire. Now I've just noticed somewhere that needs a little more glue, so I'm just going to pull that up and pop a little glue underneath that bit. Just be careful not to add too much glue unless you want sort of that dewdrop look on your, unless you're using a matte glue. Now that our wire is in and our rose is done, there's one other step I do around the bottom of the wire, which is I really hope you can see what I'm doing, because this is such a gorgeous thing. You're just going to put a little glossy all the way around the bottom of your rose just to let it dry. Now, that is your rose on a wire. Now that's going to take about 15 minutes to dry. So it doesn't matter if the wire is not perfectly straight, if you can't sit it necessarily upside down. This rose turned out a lot better than I thought it would, given that I'm demonstrating it. I usually do these on, like, have them sitting on my keyboard so they sit up. Now let me pick one that's not super squished. Okay, so now if you want to add a little enchantment to your rose, if you want to have it be an enchanted rose rather than just a plain red rose, and there's nothing wrong with if you like a plain red rose. I swear I pulled a thing of water out earlier. Ugh. Hang on. It's mineral water, but for lack of a little bit of water here, I don't even need much. Just a little dot of water. Now this is something I've learnt with the Wink of Stella. With this one, it is so full on glittery that if you don't want a lot of glitter, I've already got some in the tip of my Wink of Stella, so I'm just going to add a little water, and then we're just going to brush the Wink of Stella all over the rose, and that will give you the really, now I would normally do this when it was on a stem, but this one's a little, okay, so you see the more you add, the more glittery it becomes. So this one might have just a little more than I had intended. Let's just pick up another one to show you. Oh, that's just already got some. So you just have to gently, now if you want to sort of have it not be quite so glittery, just add a little water into it, which makes the glitter go a little further, and you just get that really nice, almost mystical sparkle. I don't know if you can see that. See, it comes up a lot more sparkly on camera than it is in real life. And that, your Wink of Stella is going to go really fast. So how do you sort this out? If you just want to do this top, all you're going to do is take two beads, one smaller than the other, and glossy accent them together and then put them on top. This takes a little while to dry, so be aware of that. So I'm just going to take, because this rose, the rose we made, is going to take a little while to dry. But I might be able to, we'll see, might be able to pop it in the cork. Hang on, this might be a little long though, so let's have a look. Oh no, yeah, it is a little long. So what I'm going to do is take my wire cutters, and I highly recommend using wire cutters. Don't ruin your good scissors, please don't ruin your good scissors on wire, because trust me, I've done it. You don't want to do it. Yeah, see, this is starting to come out because it's not dry. But what you do is you just pop it in there, and then, as I said, this flower isn't quite dry yet, but you just literally stick it through the cork, and then you just put your domed lid on top, and you've got a very simple beast rose. Now, this one comes, you can get them in packs like this with the things. I've just glued that in the bottom. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet. Now for the leaves, I forgot to bring some green quilling strips out, so we'll just take some pink for now. All I did for the leaves on the one with the leaves is you fold this in half, you grab some scissors, of course I have the huge scissors, and you're just going to do a sort of leaf shape. Now what I've been thinking about is actually using my Susan's Garden dies and cutting out some leaves from that, because they are so small they would probably work for this and probably just look that little bit nicer. And then what I do is I fold it up around my thumbnail, and then you've got the option of just using them as leaves and wrapping them around. So you could do it as a double leaf, like just, or you can individually do it. You can also snip to give a bit more of a leaf kind of thing. These scissors are totally wrong for this, but yeah, so you get the idea. But that is it. It's really not as difficult as it seems. It is a beautiful craft. It is a little bit of patience, but I really enjoy it, and I really hope you do too. If you have any questions, need any help with this, please leave a comment below and ask. Tag me on Twitter, Tumblr, or Instagram with @HeavenlyImaginings or #HeavenlyImaginings to show me your crafts. I would really love to see your version of this. I hope you enjoyed it. You could add glitter to the bottom. You could add you could create your own little rose petals. This is just a smidge, a drop in the ocean of what you can do for this. I just wanted to show you that it can be done. I want some Beauty and the Beast crafts in my Etsy, but also wanted some Beauty and Beast crafts on here because the movie comes out in March and it's a great time to celebrate all things Beauty and the Beast. There is a bow tutorial coming up, which I'm really looking forward to sharing with you. It's something a little bit unique and I think you'll enjoy it. And if you're new here and you're not one of my amazingly incredible subscribers, click that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, click the like button. Remember, I love you, you are amazing, and you matter. I will talk to you all soon, my angels and devils. Bye!